Today you'll see two neat tops, t-shirts, but they're not basic. They have a super cute detail on the sides and a lot of options for sleeves and neckline. I've made a summer and a winter version. Hi sewing friends, I'm Karina from liftingpinsandneedles.com. Welcome to this channel that is all about sewing, limitless sewing, and today I'm here to share two neat makes that are super easy, relaxed, no drama here. And it's new from Pattern Emporium called Refresh Tee. I'll show you the line out here. There's plenty of options. What they all have in common though are those ruching details on the side seams with drawstrings. And you might recognize this detail from the Works tank that was released maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. That was 100% a summer pattern, tank, sleeveless, wide binding. But that is basically the only detail that this t-shirt has in common with the Works tank. It's actually sewn in the same way and everything. But now in this case, you have more options for the neckline and the sleeves. So it can actually be a summer or winter garment, whatever you want, just depends on your fabric choice. So it's a semi-fitted design. It can be cropped, regular or long. It can have a crew neckline, which is the highest. There's 2 scoops, one higher, one lower, and then a V neckline. They're all finished with bands. Easy techniques. Even the V neckline is the easiest of the V neckline techniques because it's just got an overlap there. Very nice. Sleeves can be cap sleeves. Those are the shortest. Then short sleeve, 3/4, long, and a full circle flounce if you want something like that. So lots of options, beautiful ruching on the sides. I think it's a really cute feature. I really enjoyed the Works tank that I sewn a couple of weeks ago. So this was a no-brainer for me to sew because now I can make a winter version as well. I think this would make an amazing sweater. Because the Refresh t-shirt is brand new at Pattern Emporium, it's 15% off through Monday at noon, but in Australia. Over here in this area of the world, the sale is going to end on Sunday night. And it's not just the Refresh tee that's on sale. There's a few bottoms included that are also 15% off, most of which I have already sewn and have tutorials for. The Easy Does It skirt, the neat palazzo pants, the highlight skirt, the free spirit skirt, the getaway shorts. So have a look at those. You might want to pick one of these cute bottoms up as well that could go really well with the Refresh tee. I'll leave you the information in the description box and at the top of the comment section pinned. If you end up clicking on my link and purchasing, you don't pay anything extra. It's just that I receive a small commission from Kate, who owns and designs Pattern Emporium. It's one of the ways I make an income creating helpful content here on YouTube all about sewing. So I'm always grateful if you use my link. About the fabrics, it's for neat fabrics, obviously. Do not attempt this in a woven, it's not going to fit. And you need your neat fabrics to stretch horizontally and vertically. 30% horizontally at least, 20% vertically at least. So if you have a knit that has 0 vertical stretch, it's not going to work for this. It's not going to work, feel comfortable or fit like it should. You can choose many types of fabrics for the body of the t-shirt, like rayon spandex, bamboo spandex, modal spandex. Those are going to fit a little looser, a little longer, just because they have so much stretch. They have less recovery. ITY is going to work, double brush poly, single brush poly, athletic knits, sweater knits, stretch velvet, rib knit. All of those fabrics would be great choices. Even cotton lycra. Just make sure it's not that really stiff type, really heavy, because then the ruching could end up looking bulky. I wouldn't use Ponte or Liverpool or Scuba for this one unless they were a little lighter and a little softer, which is in general hard to find because those are considered more heavyweight fabrics. Now the sizing here from 4 to 30 Australian, up to a 58 3/4 inch hip. It's a semi-fitted design. When I plot my measurements on the chart, you'll see that there's a range for each size. So as long as your measurement is in that range, you're going to be okay. I'm size 16 Australian at the moment, so that's what I do. Fitting adjustments here for the actual t-shirt, none. Just added an extra inch to the length of the sleeve just because I'm a little taller. But in general, pretty painless process. I did measure the pattern pieces to look at the ease, and I figured out there's about 1 to 2 inches of negative ease around the bust, which is okay. You want that. It is a neat garment and it's part of the style. Your neckline's going to fit properly and so are your shoulders. They're not going to fall off or gape in this area, so I agree. A little bit more space at the waist, 2 or 3 inches of positive ease, and at the hips around 0. And when there's less ease at the hips, I prefer to keep my tops a little shorter. So I'm sewing the regular length. There's a longer length option here and it's going to hit around my high hip. I don't like fitted things to go longer towards my full hip, for example. That's just all personal preference. We all like different things. Here are the pattern pieces for the Refresh t-shirt. Not many, front and back, both on the fold. They look quite long because they're going to have ruched sides. It's going to make them shorter. I have short sleeves. I have a neckband. In this case, this is a V-neck band, but you can do rounded ones as well. And for the drawstrings, I'm just going to use bias tape, satin bias tape. I've got loads and loads of this stuff. Just fold it in half and top stitch it and make long, long ties. I am using the pattern piece provided to know what length I need, but I'm not creating it from scratch. What you want to do is serge all the edges first. It's just easier this way. Of course, if you want to go rogue and leave your edges raw, you can. They're not going to unravel. It is a knit after all, but it just looks nicer if it's neat. So I'm doing the side seams and the bottom for the hem as well. Careful not to trim anything away, just neatening up these edges. After serging everything, I have folded up 5/8 of an inch from the bottom up for a hem. And we're going to sew the hem first. I'm going to do this at the sewing machine with a simple narrow zigzag. After the hem is done, then we can start doing side seams and casings and all the rest. Now you're going to see a clip of how to do the ruched sides, utilizing what I filmed from the Works tank, which is exactly the same. It's just a refresher. I've got back and front on top of each other, right sides together. Pick one side seam to do first. It's just going to be easier to do one side first and then do the other. Here I'm using the same narrow zigzag I used for the hem to sew the side seam, 5/8 seam allowance. Nice curve, it's not a straight seam. Now I'm at the iron, pressing this open, throwing a lot of steam on it. And then these side seam, the seam allowance will become the casing. Just to make it a little neater, I'm going to go ahead and hand baste this down flat so it doesn't wiggle anywhere. And then we're going to sew the two casings like that. Easy peasy. Then here I'm top stitching the seam allowance down on the inside that will form the casing. I've hand basted it first. The serged edge, I'm sewing right through the middle. That is my guide. That's one side. Now I'm going to sew the other side. It's all exactly the same. Tank side seams are done, casings are done. What I'm going to do now is thread my drawstring through there, come up and down through there. So I don't guess, I've made a little mark right there with a colorful thread to mark the middle of this drawstring, so I should see that. Okay, so I can see my colorful mark here. Maybe you can't see it, but I can. So I know that that is the half point. So what I'm going to do there is just pin it so it doesn't move anywhere. I'm going to take my safety pin and now go in through this side and then all the way back down to the hem. So that's ready. Now I'm going to go ahead here and do a little basting stitch just to hold that in place so it doesn't move anywhere. Okay, so that drawstring is sewn up there on the top. It's not going to go anywhere. It's going to be fixed in place. I've done my casings, my drawstrings with the bias tape, push them through with a safety pin. Simple shoulder seams, setting the sleeve on the round. Knit sleeves are usually sewn in on the flat, but in this case you don't have that option because we've already got a completed armhole from creating the casing. So it has to be set in on the round. That's perfectly fine. And now I have a whole series and lots of videos about V-neck bands. I have one episode on the channel, very comprehensive, specifically about V-neck bands. This is how the thumbnail looks. At minute 17, check out how to do the V-neck band over here, the same technique. What I'm wearing here is a lyrical shirt from Pattern Emporium, rayon twill. It's super lovely, nice and loose. Sleeves go up to above the elbow, and check out this detail here with a casing. Little bit of a puff sleeve, but it's drapey because of the rayon. Little ties here that are not meant to be bows, just ties. You can also sew a collar and collar stand. I have a basta, nice comfy fit. It's a beautiful blouse from Pattern Emporium. If you haven't seen it, you're missing out. I do have a tutorial all about it. This is the first refreshed t-shirt that I made. I chose this ITY with a really interesting print. So you might think I've done extra seams and things, but no, the print is like that. So the stripes are sort of diagonal and in different directions. I think it's really cool. And then there's some flowers somewhere. So I got a bit of the red flower on the neckband as well. I have the easy to sew V neckline right there that's overlapped. Remember, I have a full tutorial that shows you how to do neckbands, V neckbands 4 ways. At minute 17 in this video, see how to sew this in detail. I also interfaced this little section of the V with a bit of stay tape just because this ITY is really flimsy and I wanted that to stay nice and crisp there in the V. I have the short sleeve. The sleeve isn't meant to hug your arms. They don't feel super tight. There's some ease there and it's super comfortable. So that's how it looks like. I got a bit of flowers down here, a bit of the flowers down there. I think the effect is really cool. Check out this. I mean, this is just amazing. And the stripes are distorted in the print anyway, and then they distort even more with the ruching. I didn't make my own drawstrings. I just used satin bias tape. Love how it turned out. I think it's really nice. It was really easy to sew. With my second version, I was sort of sewing them in tandem because I was using the same serger thread. I just had a blast sewing them. I've styled them 3 ways for you to see. This is my first version of the refreshed tee from Pattern Emporium. This is my summer version. This is an ITY. It's a really beautiful print. It's like that. I did not add extra seams and I've got it paired with a bohemian wrap skirt, also from Pattern Emporium. This was a no-brainer for me. It's a wider, longer skirt with a shorter fitted top. I think it goes beautifully. And check out the red little details at the hem, all the ruching on the sides. Again, this is a regular length, size 16 Australian. And I love how the ruching makes those stripes look cool. Got V neckline, super easy technique with a short sleeve. You can also do other types of sleeves. I just kept mine simple. I only had 1 yard to work with and I barely got the pieces out, so I'm very happy. I think the depth of this V is perfect, just deep enough, nice and fresh for summer. And I love the fit of this top. It's not a regular t-shirt, it's not a basic, it's just so pretty. And the ruching details are very, very comfortable to wear. Here I've still got it paired with a navy skirt, but it's a different type. This time it's fitted at the waist and upper hip, but then it's got some volume with gathers and it's a shorter length. I think it looks great with the fitted top as well. Just another option, same colors but different style. And I'm gonna really enjoy this. You know, I love my shorter skirts. I'm also loving the longer skirts. So I think this top is gonna be great for dressing up and dressing down. Absolutely love that because I can be comfortable and wear something special. That also wasn't too hard to sew. There's a little bit of red in the print, as you can see, so I did use that. It's a color that I really like and it suits me. So this time I've got a straight skirt. It's pull-up skirt in a stretch woven, super comfortable. It's not tight, so it's perfect casual. I've got walkable sandals and a white bag. Just brought out different colors in the print for this look. I really love this color combination as always. It's one of my favorite combos, navy, white and red. I feel amazing. My second version is the winter version, and this is a black sweater knit. I did not have a sweater like this one, so I really love it. Now, instead of the neckband, I did binding instead. I used the same piece for the neckband. I've just sewn it like binding. So I've sewed it right sides together and then wrap around the seam allowance and then catch it with a stitch in a ditch. This is a leather look jersey. This is the high scoop. There's a lower scoop. There's a crew. So I would say this is like the mid-rounded neckline. For winter, I think it's more appropriate than the lower scoop. If I was doing a t-shirt, you know, that was meant for hot weather, I would probably do the lower one because I like that. Out of all the rounded necklines that exist, you will never see me with a crew neckline. It just does not suit me. So yeah, it's always going to be mid or low. Love it. Long sleeve over here, super easy to sew. I have my casings. I did not film anything with a black. It's just very awful to film black, and even it's hard for me to sew black. I can't see properly what I'm doing, but I'm so happy to have a winter version. It's going to be amazing. This time I used these little cords that I found in my stash. I think it's really cool. I didn't have to make the drawstrings again. Maybe you're catching on that I don't enjoy making little long things. If I can avoid it, I'm going to avoid it. And I still can ruche it up, and I think it looks cute as well. Remember, both of these are size 14. At the regular length, there's a cropped one and a longer one. And one thing I'll mention is that because this is a knit and it's got long sleeves, I stabilized the shoulder seams so that they don't stretch at all. What I did was just sew into the seam a little piece of cotton selvage. And, you know, they're going to stay put. They're not going to start drooping and dragging and deforming over time. Especially sweater knits, they don't have amazing recovery. That's why I don't do the neckband with a sweater knit. I did it with an athletic knit instead. And yeah, that's my way around sewing a lot of sweater knits, but just modifying a few things to make the garment last looking nice. This is also a type of garment that you wouldn't hang in your closet. I wouldn't use a coat hanger and just hang them there. I fold them and I put them on shelves so that they don't stretch out. So yeah, let's see this one, winter styling. Remember, the refreshed t-shirt can be for summer or for winter, and I'm glad I have both. This is the second refreshed tee from Pattern Emporium that I made, but it's a winter version. It's not a t-shirt as such, it's a knit top. I've used a sweater knit with long sleeves. I've got it paired here with boots and one of my turning point skirts, also from Pattern Emporium. I really like how this looks. Silhouette of the sweater is semi-fitted. You can see the ruching on the sides. I've got a size 16, the regular length. And instead of a band, I use the same pattern piece, but I sewed it as binding in a contrasting leather look jersey. I think it looks really nice. I've got the mid scoop, the high scoop neckline. I think it's really good for a winter version, and I'm gonna really enjoy it. It's a special black sweater. It's not a basic, and I'm gonna really love it on its own or under jackets and things. With this skirt, I think it looks stunning, and I love a sweater that's not boxy, oversized, and that actually follows your shape. But all the ruching just makes it more comfortable to wear. I absolutely love it. This time I've got the refreshed tee paired with my Heartlight skirt, also from Pattern Emporium. This is a skirt with way more volume, but it's fine because the sweater is shorter and semi-fitted. I think it looks balanced. I've got the same lovely boots, and this would be another way to wear it with a different style of bottom. You saw that the previous skirt was fitted at the waist and hips and had a different silhouette. So yeah, zebra print at the bottom, black and white outfit is always a win for me. And have I told you how much I love that ruching effect? This one's a little different with some pull-up knit ponte pants that have a straight leg silhouette. I wouldn't wear skinny pants or really fitted jeans with this one because the sweater is sort of semi-fitted. So I think this is okay. The pants are not tight, but they're not loose either. I think it looks nice, and it's also a super comfortable outfit. I mean, knit from head to toe, but I still look a little bit dressed up, like I made a bit of an effort. And you know, what are black tops for? For loud print bottoms. At least that's the way I see it, and I love how it can tone it down. I'm super happy with both of my versions. They're going to be super useful. The winter version, it's lightweight. It's going to be great under things. I can layer jackets on top, and the ruching, all that is not going to create bulk. And then if it gets hot and I take off my jacket, I don't have a regular sweater under there. I have something beautiful. So I love that. And the summer version, always practical, can serve me for so many things. And that ruching detail I find so aesthetically pleasing. I also like that you get a little bit of volume around the midsection, just the volume of the fabric as such, but the volume visually isn't there. So you can be comfortable. You can be super comfortable, and the top still follows your shape. It's not going to look boxy. Some of you might know that mum is visiting, and I usually sew things for her when I sew things for me. And you might think, why haven't I made my mum a t-shirt? My mum is super special with the knits that she wears. She actually barely wears any knit garments. She's super sensitive in her skin, and she doesn't tolerate spandex at all. It makes her skin itch. She only wears t-shirts made out of 100% cotton, which are hard to find. And I don't think 100% cotton is suited for every design, especially for this one where it's semi-fitted and that you need that stretch. 100% cotton has only mechanical stretch. There's no spandex in there. There's no recovery. So yeah, I really couldn't make her a t-shirt. So whenever I sew for her, I'm sewing blouses, I'm sewing woven projects, I'm never sewing knit projects. So that's my explanation for you there. That's all from me. I'll see you next week on this channel with more sewing at Lifting Pins and Needles. See you then. Bye.